What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys enjoyed the little intro sequence. I made this same video for the Miata last week, so if you are interested in the Miata content, definitely go check out that video. We celebrated 7 years of ownership with the Miata, and in this video we are celebrating 2 years of ownership with the Mk7 Golf GTI. So if you are new to the channel and this is the first video you're seeing, first off, welcome. Second, go down below and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of the GTI content. This is the channel's daily driver, the workhorse of the channel, the baby hauler, the grocery getter. It is everything in between, and it has been such a amazing choice over the last 2 years. Super glad that I decided to get this car, and it has really pulled its weight as far as fun, family goes. I mean, we've taken it across the country and back. It has truly been an amazing experience in the last 2 years with this car. Certainly helps to have a nice little soundtrack in this car. So basically what these videos are is I spend a little bit of time just doing a mini review of the year, things we've done with the car, modifications and things that I would like to kind of do in the future and the plans for the next few years. I don't know how long I'm going to have this car. I really do love it. The backstory behind the GTI is a pretty simple one. So back when the Mark V came out, it was like the coolest car. My dad took me to a VW dealership. I wasn't even able to drive yet, but I got to look at the Mark V GTI and just absolutely fell in love with the car. And ever since then, I was like, one day I'm gonna own one of these. And 2 years ago, when we were about to have our first kid, I was like, all right, now is the time. The Miata was paid off. We needed a 4-door car, something comfortable, something nice, something that we could haul groceries around in and baby stuff. And the thought popped into my mind, it's time for a GTI. And that's how we ended up with this car, and I've been loving it ever since. For the first year, I really toyed with easy modifications. I was still learning the platform, still learning how much things cost, what I really wanted to do with it. Every single car I've had, I've always modified it. You got to make it your own, and the GTI is no exception to that. The first year I had the car, the major things we did were springs. We did some Aerofab kit on the exterior. Pretty basic stuff. Was just kind of saving up for the next step. I don't like to use the word stages, but in the Euro world, stage 1, stage 2 is kind of the thing. So in the past year, we've thrown the EQT stage 2 tune on this car with an ATP catted downpipe, resonator delete, and recently-ish, we threw on some new muffler tips. So the exhaust is fairly tame. It sounds good. The catted downpipe was needed for the stage 2 tune, and I have to say, this car as it is right now, I think I could not do anything else to it, and I'd be fine with it. The stage 2 EQT tune and the transmission tune that they put on this, it is just amazing. Like, daily drive it, drove it across the country, got 40 miles per gallon. It rips on the highway, it rips on the back roads when you want it to. It's not the fastest thing in the world, but it's faster than like a normal average car that you would, just drive around on the street. And it definitely wakes it up. It makes it less boring. It makes it a more fun commuter's car, because I do drive it to work every so often. And like I said, I go to the grocery store and throw it in comfort mode, and you're sitting fine and you're just relaxed, getting good gas mileage. But when you feel like opening it up a little bit, you can turn it into sport mode, play with the paddle shifters, and just have yourself some fun. And it really sounds good. I love it, and it's definitely much quicker. I think stock these come with 220 to 230 horsepower. With the stage 2 tune and all the supporting modifications that we've done to it, I think that bumps it up closer to 300. And the car's not heavy, but it's also not the lightest thing in the world. But with the tune and everything, it certainly gets out of its own way, and you have no trouble passing people when you need to pass people, no trouble getting on and off the highway when you want to rip around. And I took it to a little Euro cruise the other day and took it on some back roads for the first time since I've owned the car, and it had no problems keeping up with 350Zs, little BMWs, It had no problem keeping up with those cars, and I was sitting here with the air conditioner on, heated seats if you are in a colder climate. I mean, it's so comfy. It's really, really a joy to drive. In the last year of ownership, I've gone through quite a few modifications. We've done all the body bracing and things like that. We recently added a Brake Master cylinder stopper. We threw in the APR coil packs. We threw in the EQT grounding kit and other little things here and there. It's kind of hard for me to keep up with the amount of modifications. I used to go through these on like a list, and I would say every single thing that we've done to the car, but all the videos on the Mk7 GTI are in a playlist. You can find it up here in the corner. And then I'm also including a Google Doc down below that has a list of literally every single part that is currently on the car. So you can check that out and see all the modifications for yourself. I haven't gone to extreme lengths with this car like I have with the Miata. The Miata has always been a little bit more racy. And where the car's at right now, I'm super happy with it. In the next year, I'm starting to toy with ideas of body modifications that are a little bit more aggressive, like kind of a theme going. I love the theme of the vents. I love vents on cars. I think they just look so sweet. So there's a couple vents for this car that I have my eye on. I'm also thinking about doing a carbon fiber hood, doing some carbon fiber accenting for it, but that is something that will come in the future. Right now the car has 44,000 miles. I bought it with 28,000 miles, so we've almost put 20,000 miles on it within 2 years, which isn't too bad. I drove it quite often. The Miata was down for the engine maintenance and 2.5 swap and everything, and this car was an awesome little replacement for it. Obviously, it's unfair to compare the two. There's no comparing these two cars. They're in a different class. They're different body styles, but this car is certainly faster in a straight line than the Miata, but you know, corner-wise, it's obviously not the same. It's just on springs right now, H&R springs, and they've still been riding great. I've started to understand the differences between doing, you know, springs and coilovers. I had springs on the Miata, I had coilovers on the Miata, and with this car, it's still the, you know, the baby's got to sit in the back comfortably and sleep on long drives. So the springs are probably going to stay for quite a while. I'm still enjoying them. I think they perform well. The car is nice and flat in the corners with the rear sway bar and all the underbody bracing and things like that. It's also got the white line front and rear adjustable end links. So the car could do for a corner balance and proper suspension setup in alignment. Right now it's just like on a, you know, I guess I call it an economy alignment. It's just the basic whatever the dealership does, but it just needed an alignment before I drove the 48 hours to Virginia and back. So there's definitely plans for this car. Looking forward to the next phase of modifications. I want to wrap the roof black. I definitely want to do that. Starting to just think of little things here and there that are a little bit more expensive to do, that, you know, I'm trying to be a little bit more methodical with the modifications on the GTI, because it is a daily driver. I can't not have this car down and not working for a weekend or a week. It's got to be ready to go at any point in the day, any point in the week, and it always has been. It's always been reliable, besides the one gas tank issue, but that is what it is. I also got my water pump settlement thing in the mail. I haven't changed the water pump on this car, but I guess it's like an active recall / settlement for people who have had it fail, but I haven't had any issues with it there, but I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on it. We haven't done too much to the interior of the car. We've done the cup holder delete, which has been really nice because you can just leave it in, and you know, I have a kid and she spills milk. You'd think with a kid that the milk would just get on them, but no, it literally gets everywhere. So crumbs and all sorts of junk doesn't fall into the cup holders all the time, and that's been pretty nice. We've got the little extended paddle shifters, which are cool. We've also got the Black Forest Industries gear knob, but otherwise there's really not a ton on the interior that's been done. I'm starting to think of, they sell like a couple buttons for your steering wheel, like a start button and then a drive mode button. Super cool. I've been really interested in that lately. Also, at some point, I'd like to start looking into the Mark 7.5 infotainment system, because that has wireless CarPlay. And I have an Android Auto, I guess is what it's called, but I don't like to plug my phone in unless it needs to be charged. And I think I might want something wireless just for convenience sake. But otherwise, there really isn't too much done to the interior besides our rear Eurosport X-Bar, which has been really great. I think that really helps stiffen things up nicely, so I've really enjoyed that over the last while. But yeah, so 2 years of ownership has been really great. I've definitely enjoyed the car. It's been an awesome vehicle to get around in and just enjoy and cruise and relax, be comfortable. My wife can drive the car no problems. Sometimes she takes it out to go do her thing, and you know, I can take it out by myself and put it in sport mode and have a little fun. And then when the whole family's together, today we drove it down to Dallas, and it gets around the city just fine. And you know, it's small enough to where you can park it where you need to park it, and it doesn't feel too big. There's not any like giant blind spots in the car or anything like that. If you guys are interested in a GTI or you're looking for a new family car, I would 100% recommend checking out a GTI or R. One of my friends, Ahmad, his channel is Modifications. He just picked up an R recently for his kind of daily sporty-ish car, and he's liked it so far. So super cool to see people, you know, picking these up still. And I love being in all the Facebook groups and seeing more and more people pick these cars up and enjoy them. The car is desperately in need of a set of wheels and new tires, but just haven't really found anything that I quite like yet. But I'm always keeping an eye out. I have like a dream wheel, obviously, but you know, for a first set of wheels, I like to like get a budget set of wheels first to check fitment and everything like that, and then that helps me decide what I want to do next. Like getting a pair of wheels that you kind of like will push you a little bit more to save and get that pair of wheels that you really, really like, knowing that it's going to look the best compared to what you have. So 2 years of ownership, GTI Mark 7 Autobahn trim, absolutely love it. Huge thank you to all the people who have subscribed to the channel who are interested in the GTI. It was kind of a big deal for me to start making videos on this, knowing that most of my channel was Miata related. So huge thank you to everyone who has subscribed to the channel and watched all the GTI videos. I really appreciate you guys. You push me to do better. You push me to do more modifications, and trying to meet more of you as time goes on. I want to meet more of you out on meets and cruises and all sorts of things like that. So, you know, if I see you around DFW, make sure you give me a shout. I try to go to meets here and there around town, so definitely start headed to those. If you are watching and you are local to the area, extra thank you for subscribing to my channel. So today is Father's Day, so I'm sure a good amount of you that do own one of these is probably a dad, so happy Father's Day to you. Hope you're enjoying your Sunday. I tried to keep this video short. I hope it was informative. I know it was like a little bit of a vloggy, talky video, but I make one of these videos every single year for each of my cars to just kind of go over the ownership experience, what we've done as far as modifications go, and just really kind of wrap it up and start fresh for another year of ownership. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't already, be sure you go down below and hit that subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up. Leave your comments below, and I will see you in the next video.